Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Meredith E. Phillips. I'm a writer, reader, and bunny mama, and today I wanted to go over my goals for the year and the progress I was able to make in the month of January, as well as looking ahead to the month of February and kind of seeing where I see myself at the end of that month. I want to do these goal sort of check-in videos. I'm going to try to do them at the beginning of each month for two reasons. Number one, I do want to keep you updated on my progress, and I want to be really upfront about the areas that I've succeeded in as well as the areas that I have failed in, or at least not hit the target. The second reason that I want to do them is because it is, for me, a really great accountability tool. I don't want to have a video where I come on and I'm like, I failed at all of these goals. I want to be able to come on and say I succeeded at all these goals. And so having that as an accountability tool for myself, I am hoping will be very helpful in motivating me to get work done. The other thing I wanted to talk about before we get into my specific goals here is goals in general and how you're doing with your goals. I know a lot of us made New Year's resolutions for either writing related things or just personal goals for yourself. And I'll be real honest with you, at the beginning of the month, I didn't start any of these goals on January 1st. I know that's like the day to start, and I didn't. I was on my break from work and from life, I guess. And so I was like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to play Zelda all day. So that's what I did on the 1st of January. But then I got to a point where I was feeling like I was behind. I was behind in the goals. I was supposed to have gotten more done than I already had. And by the middle of the month, I was feeling really overwhelmed and kind of stressed out with feeling behind. I wasn't writing 4 days a week most weeks. I wasn't doing some of the other goals that we'll get to. And I had to take kind of a step back and reframe how I was looking at all of this. It doesn't matter if you start goals on January 1st. It really doesn't. That's something that we're ingrained, I think, to think is a thing, and it really doesn't need to be. The other thing that I'm trying to sort of retrain myself into thinking is that these are habits I'm trying to establish. You're not going to be perfect at these habits on day one. You're going to fail, you're going to get behind, and it's fine. The real goal is that by the end of the year, these will be habits that are firmly in place in my life. It doesn't matter that I didn't start on January 1st. It doesn't matter that I have failed hitting these goals for different reasons on different weeks. It's fine. As long as I'm still working on it, I'm gonna be happy with the progress that I'm making. So if you're feeling behind on your goals, or if you made goals and you really haven't gotten started working on them yet, or you've let them fall by the wayside, you can start again. It's okay. You can keep working on them. Don't let them fall away just because it's not January 1st anymore. Keep working on them. Look at them as habits you're trying to cultivate in your life, rather than I have to start today and be perfect at it from here on forward. That's not how it's going to go for the vast majority of people. Give yourself some grace. Try again. Every day is a new chance to try out these things. So I'm going to go through the goals that I've worked on over the last month or so. Now, at the time of filming this, it is January 24th. Yeah, the 24th. And so we technically have still a week left in the month, but at this point I'm kind of able to see how much I've gotten done and generally what I think I'll be able to get done in the next week. So, you know, it's basically all of January. You know what I mean? Okay. So for writing goals, my big writing goal, of course, for this year is to revise my project model rom-com, and I have been doing pretty decently with this. I have reread the entire piece. If you watched my vlogs, I'll link the first one up here if you want to take a look at those. But I've been doing pretty good. I have reread the piece, and I've also started taking notes and seeing what I want to revise in it. The sort of goal that went with this was that I wanted to work on this writing project 4 times a week on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. I have not been doing this every week. There were 1 or 2 weeks where I did do it for 4 days. There was another week in there where I did not do it. So the 4 days of writing per week is definitely not a habit that I have gotten into completely yet, but I am still working on it. And I feel like for the first month of the year, it's gone pretty well. As I've been going through taking notes on the things I want to change, I'm trying to go slowly and not push myself to hurry and rush through it. I really want to take my time and be critical of my work in a positive way. I don't know if that makes sense. I want the notes to be detailed and I want them to be very thoughtful and analytical. I don't want it to just be notes like, make sure you describe the setting. What color is her hair? Like, I do have those kind of notes in there, but I'm also really trying to dig into the story and pull out questions I have for myself about the characters' motivations, their wants and their needs in life, and all that kind of thing, the deeper part of the story. So I'm really trying to take my time picking out the dialogue that I think really matches their character, noting where dialogue seems out of character, and things like that. It's not a fast process, I'm finding, but I am making progress in it. So for the month of February, my goal in this category is to finish all of the revision notes. I want to be done with the note-taking process so that by the beginning of March, I'll be able to go back at the beginning and actually start implementing some of these changes that I want to make. I'm also hoping that by the end of February, the 4 days of writing per week will be a better habit, one that I'm hitting more weeks than not, but we'll see how it goes. My big reading goal for the year is to read 75 books. At the time of this filming, I have read 4 books already. I will probably finish a 5th book by the end of the month, which is fine. That's 5 books in a month. That's not bad. At that rate, I'm not going to reach 75 books. So I do want to try to read a little more next month. I'm hoping in February I can read 6 books. 6 books in February. I don't know if that catches me up to the goal for the end of the year, but whatever. You know what? 6 books in February sounds like a decent goal. For social media goals, I had the goal to post to YouTube twice a week. I've been doing that. I was about to say, no problem. It was actually kind of stressful at the beginning of the month because, again, I felt behind. I have kind of caught up and got myself a little bit ahead where I'm more comfortable, and so I'm feeling better about that. So February's goal is going to be to continue posting twice a week, Tuesdays and Fridays. I also had the goal to get better at editing, and I think I've been doing pretty good on this front. It's definitely a slow process. There are a crap ton of features to learn about and experiment with in Final Cut Pro, but I'm really having fun with it. It's a really fun way to express yourself and to be creative. It's different than writing. It's different than other hobbies that I have had in the past, and I really enjoy it. So I'm having fun looking up how to do things. The one thing that is, I'm still working at it, and I definitely think I've gotten better. I don't know if I'm quite at like master level yet. I'm definitely not at master level yet, but the biggest hurdle for me with Final Cut Pro and editing in general is the color correction. I'm not great at colors. I'm not great at colors. Whether that's like matching clothes kind of color coordinating, or whether it's looking at an image and deciding, oh, it needs more contrast. Oh, it needs to be brightened. Oh, it needs more saturation. Like, I'm terrible at that. It's really hard for me to know what it needs to look the way I want it to look. There's also a lot about color correction that is very subjective. You could give the same raw footage to 5 different people and they would color correct it to look 5 completely different ways. I did find one thing, and I'll share that with you just in case you also do videos and you're struggling with this. I don't know. I have installed the CineStyle color profile on my Canon M50, and it's been a game changer. When you install it, and if you take footage with it, you're gonna get this, and it looks terrible. But because it's that extremely flat gray color, you can color correct it much easier in Final Cut than if you have a slightly better looking image straight out of the camera. So I've been playing around with that. If you're interested in more information on that, I'll link the video below where I found it, and the guy goes through how to install it and how to use it in amazing detail. If you want a good tech channel, this guy's amazing. He's such a great teacher. I love him. Anyway, I'll put the link to him below. If you're interested in that kind of color profile, that's where I've got it from. But it is the kind of thing where when you're doing the color correction, it looks worse before it ends up looking better. So you kind of have to like fight your way through until all of a sudden it looks amazing. I don't know. We're getting there. We're getting there. The other big social media goal I had was to be more consistent on Instagram. I've actually done really poorly with this in January. There were a lot of weeks where I was posting like once a week, maybe twice, and I want to be better at that. I have started to do more planning, and I'm hoping that by the end of February I'll have been able to kind of schedule things out in advance so that they are ready to go, and I'm not like scrambling on like the day I want to post something to get a picture and edit it and do a caption and all the things. Definitely working on that. Didn't do such a good job in January though. I also had three other big goals that I didn't really outline in that initial goals video because they were supposed to be kind of like announcement surprises for everyone. But I was able to start live streaming, which is exciting, and I launched my website and my newsletter. So all of those have been going really well. The live streaming is a little bit stressful, I'll be honest. You know, it's live, obviously, so you can't edit out if you say something dumb or if there's like an awkward pause. They've been going good though, and I do like having them. I am gonna keep doing them twice a month throughout the foreseeable future. If I decide to bump it up to 3 or 4 times a month, maybe, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that to myself. At the moment, I'm very comfortable with 2. So that's what I'm going to keep doing, and I'm going to try to keep doing one on a weekday and one on a weekend, so hopefully anyone who wants to join will have at least one day, one of those 2 days that will work for them. And thank you so much to everybody who has tuned in for one or both of them over the last month. I also sent out my first newsletter. If you haven't signed up for that yet, I'll put a link in the description. When you sign up, you will get access to the previous newsletter. So if you're interested, that all is in the description. So the goal for February is to keep up the live stream schedule, and I am hoping to work on next quarter's newsletter just little bits at a time. I don't want to leave the entire thing for myself for like the last week or 2 of the quarter, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping I can work on it bit by bit so that it's kind of ready to go by the time the next one launches. Finally, I had several personal goals, and here's where I did not do so hot. I did do good on some of these. There's a variety of fails and successes here, but I did keep going with my morning pages. I've again written every single day in the morning. I don't see that being a problem for February. I only have 1 more month. I've been doing this for 11 months, haven't missed a day, and if I can get through all of February, then I'll have done it for a whole year, which I'm really excited about. The 2 big personal goals where I don't feel like I did a great job was taking a walk 5 times a week. I didn't do that really at all. I wasn't even trying. I did take some walks, but I really haven't made it a priority. I'm hoping that by the end of February I can come back with better news that I have actually implemented it, and I think it'll be easier because I'm gonna have a little more time now that I'm a little more caught up on some of the video stuff and the newsletter stuff and all that kind of thing. Walks 5 times a week are hopefully going to be a little more consistent. The other big goal I had for personal stuff was eating lunch every day. I've done okay with this. I've been getting better. The last week or so of the month has been much better than the first couple weeks of the month. Not perfect. We've had some success in there. So again, that's a habit that I'm really trying to be consistent with, more so in February. For the house projects, we did get some door estimates and we have purchased doors. So I'm really excited about the doors. They're going to be installed maybe in February. It might be March by the time they actually like come in and get an installation date set up and all that, but they are on order and I'm excited to get them and have them put in place. I think the next house project we'd like to do is one of the slightly smaller projects, which was either replacing the attic stairs or putting the shelving units into those 2 closets in our house that are not very functional right now. Haven't really done anything to make progress in those. So by the end of February, I'd like to either have one of those done or have looked a little more at least into getting it finished. So that's the status of my goals from the beginning of the year. Let me know in the comments how your goals are going. And again, if you have stuff that you really wanted to get done and you haven't started, or you've been really inconsistent, it's okay. You can still have it as a goal. You can still work on it. Don't feel that weird pressure we have in our society that you have to start on January 1st and you have to be consistent from day 1. Like, that's not what it's about. So take today or take tomorrow as a new day to get started on the things that you really want to accomplish. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, go ahead and click the subscribe button. I post videos on Tuesdays and Fridays. You can also find me over on Instagram at Meredith Phillips Writes. Again, if you want to sign up for my newsletter, the links for that are in the description. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye! Oh, I didn't change the date. Hold on. Alright, date changed. Good job. They've been going good though, and I do like having them. I am going to keep doing them twice a week. Or twice a week. No.